Hello, everybody. Hey, I have had a fabulous but very busy day, which is fantastic. It's been busy with mentoring and helping these women that are struggling, and it's really helped me to recognize something that is just happening more and more. And it's the importance of realizing how we each have our own individual worth. I was mentoring a young lady earlier this morning, and she was talking about how despite all of the accomplishments she's had in her life, and she's had a ton of accomplishments. Everybody from the world perspective would be like, oh wow, you've got like the best life ever. However, when it comes down to it though, she feels like she's worthless. She's not the only one that feels this way. Every young lady that I've worked with, and older lady, they all feel like they are worthless, that they don't have the value, they don't have a purpose in life. It's painful to realize that when you have so much value, so much worth, but you don't see it. And so I'm going to challenge you to identify your own worth. And I'm going to give you this story. This is going to be a story that's going to kind of relate to this. And we're removing all identifying information. But this young lady, we're going to call her name's Jane. She had everything going for her. She's married to a nice man, and she has children. She's very accomplished in her business. She is extremely looked up to in the professional field. And from all outside perspective, she's just got the best life ever. There is no way that anything is going wrong with her life. However, when you talk to her, she feels worthless. She doesn't feel like she has any value or purpose in this life. And you may think, like, how could that be? Here she's done this and this and this, and how could she feel worthless? But yet she does. And this story is repeated with every woman that I've met. That they don't feel their own value, their own worth. And they feel worthless. Now, what I realize is just because somebody may be doing well now, that doesn't account for the years, their lifetime of struggles of feeling this way, of feeling like they're worthless. The challenges and those areas where their brain has logically rationalized and said, yep, it's true. For example, an example of this would be she goes to school and a teacher says an unkind remark and says something like, oh, that was dumb. And her brain instead says, obviously I'm not worth anything because I'm dumb. Or she was married before, and this is what people didn't realize, is she actually was married before. And the guy was just a total, he was a loser. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't like to talk negative about anybody, but this guy, he has his own issues, and I don't know what those issues are, but he treated her awful, just awful, and made her feel like she was worthless because he cheated on her. And then she started internalizing and saying, see, I'm worthless because if I was more valuable, if I had done this and that, then he wouldn't have cheated on me. And this guy would have done it no matter what. He's awful. So she has no blame in this part, because that is his action and his alone, and he needs to own up to that. But she internalized it as her own self-worth. She internalized that because she was not able to stop it, and he said this, that was against her worth, that she felt worthless at that point. Now, and this story is unfortunately very common for a lot of people in a lot of women in this world. And there are quite a few men that feel this way too, but they just try to hide it. Well, women, and they take their emotions, they're so emotionally connected that when anybody attacks it or anything, it's a personal hurt. So if a child says, "I hate you," well, to me, I look at him and I say, "Yes, that means I'm being a good dad." But to my wife or to another woman that has somebody that says something like that, they internalize it and they feel like, "Oh, see, I'm a horrible mother. I'm a horrible wife. I'm a horrible friend. I'm a horrible," and they internalize it. Well, this is years and years and years being developed of telling yourself this over and over and over again, which your brain has then looked out and seen these things, and now you can verify it and say, "Yep, see, this is, if I wouldn't have done this, or this must be true because they said this or that." If we can learn to manage our thoughts, it's powerful. And so one simple little technique I want you to implement, even today, right now, is the power of writing. Writing down your feelings about the pain you're experiencing, and then tearing it up and throwing it in the trash. And fill, because now you'll have that empty, when you have these negative feelings and you pull them out, you need to fill it. You need to fill it up with something positive. You need to fill it up with something that's going to add to your value, going to add to your worth. It can be scriptures if you're spiritual, or it can be any spiritual text. It can be motivational thoughts. It can be positive, uplifting movies or positive, uplifting books, positive, uplifting music, as long as the lyrics are positive, uplifting. Just because it has a good beat does not mean that that's actually filling you. So we want to take and we want to fill ourselves with those positive aspects of our life so that we can get rid of those negative. So you take and get rid of the negative, and then you shred it. Shred that paper up, throw it in the trash. And then you fill with the positive. Like I said, anything positive, fill it up. Another technique is a let go technique of talking to a tree. I've posted about this before. It's talking to a tree. When you feel angry, frustrated, lonely, sad, doesn't matter. Go talk to a tree and let him know how you're feeling. Get those feelings out of you and out into the open where the tree can handle it. Now, I know it seems kind of silly, or some of you may think this guy's a quack. Try it. It actually works, and it works phenomenally well. And as you're talking to the tree, you're allowing yourself to vent, to get rid of these emotions, these negative feelings, which in turn, when you're able to get rid of these negative feelings, they're no longer inside of you, so that then you can start processing and being on a happier plane. That's what I got for you guys. Realize that you have extreme value and worth. You have a purpose in this life. And if you don't know what that is, please go back, listen to these videos. Let me help you to realize what that purpose is. Let me help you to realize you have value, that your worth is infinite, and that it doesn't matter what's happened in your life, any of the negative things that have happened in your life, anything that your brain has deemed that is true, we can change all of that. You can get rid of those negative thoughts so that it can change your life, so that you can be the happiest and best person you've ever been. I hope you share this, because there's somebody out there right now who's feeling worthless. And it's my hope that you will share this so that they can realize they are infinite worth. Nothing in their life is truly pointing to the point that they are worthless. Nothing. All it is it's an interpretation of an event or an experience. It's not verification or validation that you're worthless. It's an interpretation. We need to help your mind to interpret it correctly for what it is. You're amazing. Believe it. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.